Hey, what's up, everybody? I don't know. It says live. Not sure. For some reason, I don't feel like it kicked over. But what's up, everybody? How are you? What's up, Freestyle? What's up, Marissa? What's up, Tommy? And I want to welcome my co-host tonight, who has been on the podcast a handful of times, actually. Jason from Drive to Win 13. If you guys aren't familiar with his channel, it's in the show notes. Link over to it. Check it out. And make sure you do check out his channel. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. These co-hosting episodes have been they've been fun because it just takes a little pressure off me because every week I've been like, for 2 years I've been just like, oh, I gotta get all this in.
I
And
know
it's hard. It's really hard to do a podcast on your own.
it is.
I mean, even though you can pause and you can, especially like the audio, you can pause and stuff, but it's hard when you're just doing it all alone. And I've really realized that doing it with now that I have a co-host, every week, a guest co-host, it's been a lot of. It's going to be hard to ever go back, I guess.
Right?
Maybe.
Yeah,
We'll see.
sure.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Before I get too far into anything, though, I first want to give a shout out to Solo. Yeah, put it up on the screen here, guys. So pretty much speaks for itself, and I will be working on some solo stuff here in the near future and bringing you guys some screenshots, bringing the team in a little bit, and yeah, it's solos in. They started in Seattle last year. They're now in 8 other markets, including Miami, Tampa, Atlanta, Nashville, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, and I'm missing one, Houston. And that's been all this year that they've launched in those other markets. And what they do is, you plug in all your apps, and they tell you each hour what you'll earn on each app. If you work that hour on the app and you don't make it, they'll cut you a check at the end of the week for the difference. So it's an amazing app. You don't have to sign up for any extra apps. You just plug in the ones you already use. They work with Lyft, Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, Shipped, GoPuff, and I'm missing one. I forgot one. Dang it. I was so close to I know it's gonna come to me in a second. What's up, Driven Dad? What's up, Bud Soda? So Jason, how have you been, man?
I've been good. I've been busy, man. Super
Yeah?
busy.
Yeah.
You know me.
Are you are you in Idaho or are you in Arizona?
I'm in Arizona right now, for about another month, and then I'll be down the road heading to Florida.
Yeah. Okay. Florida for the summer, huh?
Yeah. I've got I'm going down in the off season to get ready for the big season on Airbnb and Turo and some other stuff. So
Okay.
going down a little early to warm up.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're not taking the RV this time.
I am actually. I am.
Gas prices are going to kill you, dude.
It is. So last year I drove from Arizona to Florida, and it cost me $600. It's 2,400 miles, and I did the math the other day. It will be about $1 a mile. So it went from $600 to about $2,500 for the same trip. It's insane.
And then coming back, it's gonna be $5,000.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
crazy.
I guess I don't know. I don't know how long you're gonna be there. Could be $10,000. Could be.
I mean, if I get stuck in Florida, okay, I guess I'll just stay in Florida.
Yeah, that's not. I guess that, as I said it's not even funny actually that I did that because it's very true right now. So it's actually very scary and not funny at all.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It sucks. I've been saving my rubles to make the trip for sure.
Yeah. I'm sure, man. I mean, just to do anything, it's gas is. I was telling somebody the other day, like right now would be the time to go get an RV.
Yeah. And
like
a big old
if
truck.
You wanted to walk onto it, because we have, I don't know about you, but we have big RV lots here, big ones.
Yep.
Where they're they're everywhere for acres and acres. Yep. And if you were to just walk on, I guarantee they're on sale already on the sticker. But you could just, if you had cash or something, you could be like, I'll give you half.
Yeah. And they'd be like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way that there's like a selling spree on RVs right now.
No, I'm actually very curious to see how this fall season is. for snowbirds,
Yeah.
and whether it, like prohibits them from doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
So okay, well, here's something I want to start with that. So there's two articles out, and both of them come from places where I get articles. I trust the news from it. It's not fake news ever, and it's not, the Seattle Times can be a little leaning one way or the other, but these two articles weren't at all. And it's kind of like is it and or one or the other, because they kind of conflict, and the other one's from the Points guy. So one of the articles is Uber Lyft wait times improving as drivers return. The other one is demand for Uber and Lyft drivers still not back up.
Yeah.
Which one is true? Both? Are they? These are, and as I read them, it's like they were saying the same points too. They were saying like, and so one article saying wait times are improving, drivers are coming back. The other one says drivers aren't needed yet.
Yeah.
But in the content of the both articles, it was the same.
It's interesting. One of the ways that I kind of gauge all that is I turn on my app as a driver, right? And I see how far I'm getting requests for. If all my requests are for a really far distance, that's telling me that whole area, right, doesn't have enough drivers. But if I turn on my passenger app and I select something and it tells me that it's a 15, 20, 30, 45-minute wait, tells me there's not enough drivers. And I've done that a few times here in Arizona. I'm in Phoenix right now. And, I don't know. It's kind of weird because I think maybe both are true a little bit. Like there's not enough drivers in maybe certain areas. And so they're, chasing the surge, which we always said don't do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know. Maybe they are both true. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
I mean, it was the same kind of thing. Like, I don't know if you've seen that. I know Chris Real Rideshare Stories, and Sergio from the Rideshare Guy who writes them. So they do this thing now on, I think it's Wednesdays, where they do a live, the three of them on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they just kind of collaborate about some things. And they were taught, I can't remember who the third was. The third was Gabe, one of the other writers for the Rideshare Guide. So the three of them were on, and Gabe and Chris were talking about, like, well, these gas prices are going to kill people. And of course, I was just waiting for it because I like Sergio a lot. I like all of them, but I like Sergio a lot. I was just waiting for him to come in. He came in with, he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I hate to say this, I hate to put it out there, but he said, these gas prices are great. It's kicking everybody off the road. I'm busy as I can be.
Right.
And he's in LA. He's paying the $6.89 or whatever it's at now. So it's not a joke. It's not. Yeah.
Well, it's right here. It's almost 6, so we're not that far. I just filled up my Prius for almost $80 and it was right at $6 a gallon. It's crazy.
Yeah, we just had John Dash Theory on last week.
Yeah.
And he's saying the same thing. You guys are right in the same area right now.
He's here too. Yeah, for sure.
But he was saying the same thing. He's like, we're really not that far off California.
No, it's crazy. But one thing I will say is it's interesting that the customers don't seem to care too much about what the gas prices are, right?
Yeah.
You can be busy. I think the thing for me is I'm being much more selective about the rides I take or the deliveries I do. It's just plain not worth it to go pick up somebody, especially if I don't have the certain tiers that tell you, where that person's going. I'm not going to risk it and drive 15 minutes to pick somebody up. I'm just not going to do it. Where I used to be like, oh, it might take me to a good spot or it's in a good area. I'm definitely much more selective now, for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of Arizona, this really gets to me, and we've talked about this before, and some people know that and you probably know this too, that I'll go off on autonomous. The timelines are never right, but I want to speaking of Arizona, I want to speak specifically about the 2018 autonomous death.
Yeah.
Because there was an article about this still isn't over yet. And I want to talk about how complicated this actually is. So I broke
Yeah,
it down into just some handwritten notes here. I hope I can read my own writing here. So I want to bring everybody up to speed. So Phoenix, all of Phoenix is Maricopa County. Is that right?
that's correct.
Okay. So this happened in Phoenix, Maricopa County. Now, I always say that, when people are like, well, there's not such a thing as too big to fail. And I've had the conversation with people, well, Uber might be too big to fail. Well, no, nobody can be too big to fail. Well, you can if you're in bed with cities and stuff, and you've done free rides to testing and this and that and the other. I understand that if their stock value gets to zero, which it seems to be on a everything's doing badly right now, so it's not true real judge. But if they got to zero, yes, they're done. But here's an example of exactly what I've been talking about when I say that they shouldn't be in with these companies. Is that, like, okay, authorities in Maricopa County, Arizona, said they could not prosecute the case because they had worked with Uber in the past. So see, this is part of what I've said.
Right.
Like, here is an autonomous vehicle that shouldn't have even been operating.
Yep.
It's not up to standard. It had parts that they know don't work in certain weather, this, that, the other. So they had the driver in there. Now we've seen stuff in California where the Cruise car ran the red light, and we were talking about that last week and stuff. So Maricopa County handed it over to is it Yavapai County? I don't know. It's whatever is right outside of Phoenix, the next county. And they got into a big issue with, they couldn't really rule it correctly because of the way it was handed over to them. So they determined Uber not at fault and sent it back to Maricopa County. So the now absolved Uber gave prosecutors information which led to the indictment of Rafaela Vasquez, who was the test driver in the vehicle at the time of the accident. Okay. So Uber led prosecutors to believe Vasquez was watching a TV reality show. So Vasquez and her lawyers claim Uber misrepresented the video footage. She said she was only listening to a TV program which featured music. Also, Uber threw her under the bus, saying that she was looking at her phone, which is what they show on all the videos.
Yeah.
That isn't her phone. That is an Uber supplied screen for communication with coworkers. So the way they played it was, it looks like she's like looking at a phone, not doing her job, but really she's looking at the screen that they told her to look at.
Right.
They threw her under the bus on this. Uber's now completely absolved, and they're now prosecuting this woman.
Yeah.
And now she's going to take this to the T. She's ready to just throw Uber under the bus. And what really this article I was reading was really, really, really telling, because basically their scenario is, no matter what happens at this point, this is going to be the downfall of autonomous before it ever even starts.
Yeah.
Which is what I've been waiting for. We need a case crunching something that shuts this crap down. They know it doesn't work. They know it's not safe. It should not be on the streets.
Yeah. It's a good 20 years behind. It should not be here right now. They shouldn't be. They could do some testing in some sort of like controlled environment, and get through all these darn bugs and everything. There should never be a moment which it's live.
And why would they throw this lady under the bus? I mean, it's going to come back to haunt them to no end.
I think they're just trying to sweep it all under the rug like it never happened. And at least to a lot of people, they're not going to bring it out and say, oh, we made a mistake. Because if it ever becomes something in the future, they get the stuff worked out. They don't want that on them. They want to be able to point the finger at somebody else making a mistake.
Right. But the facts that they gave to the prosecutor are now already being like, it's not even like, hey, we need to go prove this. It's like, was she not watching the screen that you provided her? And they're like, no, she was. Well, then why'd you tell prosecutors this? So they've already been caught in the lie. If they go to court with this, is what the article was saying, that they're just screwed.
Yeah, they should go to court with it. She should. She's
going to have to, because they're suing. I mean, this is, the guy got killed. I can't remember what the amount is. They're suing for like 22 million point something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this lady's like paid nothing to be an
Right.
operator of an autonomous
Yeah.
car. She's probably paid $20 an hour or something.
Right. Definitely not $20 million.
You know, and $20 million, that's just basically, hey, my life's over. The rest of my life, I'll just be throwing money at you and it still won't pay it off.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's,
when that all started, they thought they were suing, Uber, and Uber could write a check, right?
yeah.
So that's what they're thinking for sure.
But again, it went to prove to me the power of Uber. Here's again the power of Uber.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people sometimes, like, when I say this stuff, I don't know that they really get the power of Uber when I'm like, they're in with the cities.
Hmm.
Well, what does that mean? That means this. That means that they can go run a person down, kill him with an
Yep.
autonomous vehicle, and just kind of play like, well, we gave you some money, we gave rides to testing and
Yeah.
voting and this and that, and we've done some things
Yep.
for the city, and you're not going to prosecute us.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. It's a like a politician's game, you know.
yeah,
It's exactly what they're doing.
yeah, it's not only scary and wrong, it just proves my point about like how even Uber goes to countries and starts operating before they even talk to the country.
Yeah, right.
Then
Yeah,
they get
you're
kicked
right.
out of these countries, and then they go back anyway and start doing it again, and they just
Yeah,
keep doing it until the country finally says, fine, give us a bunch of money and you can stay. And they're like, fine, here you go.
there you go. And then we're in.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this is how
Yeah.
it's just, I've never seen or heard of a company operating this way in my life. And I know we're dealing with the gig realm, but I'm talking outside of it. There's the
Yeah.
corporation Uber. The way that they do this is really,
Well, I know like companies like Walmart, they used to do that when they were, building Walmarts everywhere. They'd go in and take over a city,
yeah,
throw a bunch of money, and then didn't care about all the people that lives they were ruining. Um,
yeah,
and they got so big, so powerful. I mean, for crying out loud, they're buying the Denver Broncos right now, right? So,
yeah.
um, but yeah, I know that they did a lot of that. And it's wrong to get that big and powerful. It absolutely is.
Yeah, I feel like, at least with them though, I feel like they're under a little bit more of a restriction. I mean, at
Yeah,
least,
that's
or maybe have a little more to. I mean, yes, they can get away with what many companies can't, but I don't feel like they're to the
right.
Uber level where they're just like, oh, your rules and laws, we don't care about those. We're going to do
Blatantly
what we
do whatever
want,
we want.
and yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You're not going to do anything to us.
yeah, yeah. You're probably right.
I think it's because of the way they're an SaaS, and they can always point the finger at the drivers. Well,
Yeah,
we're just we're just an app. We turned the app on, they started using it. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's like,
yeah,
well, then we
right,
don't want your app here.
right.
Well, right. Well, we're going to keep it anyway. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's just crazy. And by the way, yeah, before I get to this next thing, I wanted to talk about this because it seemed like Jason, you had something to say about this. And I had this sent to me from somebody who listens to the podcast and I see around the YouTube community all the time, Josh, but I've seen these many times and I'm going to put it up here. And this is side by side, same promo times. And I know one side's fuzzy and it's hard to see, but if you can look close enough, you'll see that it's more on the right in every instance.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, in every instance it's
Yep.
it's like 50 cents more.
Yeah.
Now this is exactly the same minute, exactly the same place. This isn't two screenshots from there are two phones on the same table right there.
Yeah.
Side by side. So
Yeah.
what's going on with this stuff?
So, I'll be honest with you. I think all these apps play this game. I remember when I was doing Uber and Lyft a lot, like pre-pandemic, and I had regular passengers that I took to the airport every Monday and every Friday and every Tuesday, right? And I just built like this little army of people. And the way that I would do it legit, right? I didn't take them outside the app. A few times I did because there was an app issue or something, but I did it in the app. And how I did it was I would drive up to their house. They'd get in my car. I'd turn my app on. They'd request a ride. I'm the closest rider, right? And
Yeah.
away we go. Well, one thing that I noticed was when I got to a certain level in terms of dollars, like if I drove all night, I got to pick up somebody at 6 a.m. It
Mhm.
did not matter what I did. If because my dollar amount is at $280 for the day, it would not ping my car. It would try to pull somebody 15 miles away, even though I'm right there in the parking lot. And I think in their defense, what they're trying to do is distribute the wealth or distribute the rides to to everybody, not just the guy that's hustling. And in this case, that was DoorDash, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think DoorDash does the same thing potentially, maybe with somebody who is a newer person versus somebody who is a seasoned person, or a certain amount of in that week. It'd be interesting to see that same stat with somebody who has done the exact same amount of deliveries, roughly the same amount of dollars, you know, for the week or something.
Yeah.
And I've seen that stuff on other apps as well. Instacart is pretty famous for doing the same stuff, and even Shipped.
Yeah.
Shipped is doing some of that as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen it was shipped as much, but like here's Bud Soda saying the same thing, and he's up in upstate New York. You know, he's saying the same thing. He's got $1 peak pay, and his buddy's getting $1.50.
Yeah, and they're in the same spot.
Yeah,
Everything's the same. You know, these algorithms, and I don't. I've been trying to figure them all out, and
but
I
that's
can't
not even an
figure it out.
algorithmic mistake. That's
Well,
like a straight up scam, dude.
it feels like it for sure. Because why is one person's time more valuable than this guy, right? They're the exact same. They're in the same freaking place, right? Looking at the same app.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. I'd like to understand why for sure. But
Yeah.
you know, sometimes they do the same thing with even referrals. I had a situation similar to that where I had a referral that my phone said for Phoenix, it was like a $200 referral, and my buddy's phone had a $100 referral. Same exact time, same everything. I don't understand it.
What's up, Cody and Autumn? Alaska Gigging. Have you seen these guys' channel? You gotta check them out.
Yeah.
Alaska Gigging Guns.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. They do this up in a little north of Anchorage.
Yeah.
But he's like saying no Instacart either. You know, it's God,
Yeah.
Jason and I were just talking about this before I came on. You guys all know how I feel about Instacart, but actually Jason was the one who was sending me the great shots though of Instacart earnings when I was showing them. And if you remember in the start of the year, right at the end of the last year, I was doing that shipped Instacart challenge. And I was actually asking you for some tips. I'm like, when do the good orders come?
Wasn't much of a challenge for you.
I know, but I remember saying to you, like, well, dude, when do the good ones come through?
I remember
like,
you
some good ones on ship,
yeah.
but I'm like, I haven't seen anything I'd take on Instacart.
Yeah, for sure. They have games you play for sure, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's hard to figure it out. The algorithms are very, very strange with Instacart.
Absolutely, sure. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Bruce? How are you? Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. It is. But okay, I find this very crazy too. Here's, I mean, another crazy thing. Some weeks there's just not as much crazy stuff. This week already there is. So, you know, we got those little trash can robots down in LA that are Uber Eats robots.
Yeah, I got them here too.
Oh, have you seen one?
Oh yeah, on the campus.
They have little eyeballs too, don't they?
Yeah, they look
or like they
it,
make fake eyes, don't they? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one looks more like the one that I'm going to be talking about is by the company Cartken, and they're actually, it looks more like a cooler.
Yeah.
like like an ice cooler or something on wheels.
Yeah.
And they're going to roll this out. Grubhub and Cartken are going to roll this out for all of Ohio State University. And for those who are not aware, Ohio State University is not a small university. That is a massive Big Ten university.
Yeah.
I mean, it has 100,000 or close to it in the undergrad, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and they were saying how this could help shut down needing the use of places to go eat on the campus. Really? You got enough of these stupid things to roll around and they're going to work? And like I said, it looked like a cooler. It looked like I'd pushed like the wheels from a Weber grill onto like a cooler.
I know exactly what you're talking about. We have them.
I mean, it just looks like it's just every part looks like junk, is what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting at. They just look like junk, dude.
It is. It's ridiculous. And they, you know, I was driving. Actually, it's not too long ago. I was delivering my Turo car, and I was in Tempe, and one of them was going across the road, and everybody's stopping, waiting for it. It's got a little flag on it, and everything, and it was delivering. It's ridiculous. But I'll be honest with you, as a delivery driver, I don't really care. I hate going on campus to deliver. So let them do it.
I mean, I think campuses need to have like a hotspot.
Mm-hmm.
Like somewhere that maybe even there's somebody working who can be the distribution, where you just pull in, drop it off, and then they wait and get it to the next person.
Yeah.
Because the drivers can't be. I mean, first of all, the campuses don't even want people not going to school there on the campus anyway.
Right.
So it's just a lose across the board. So
yeah, for sure. I hate delivering on campus and picking up passengers. Everything. I hate everything about campuses, including the people that go there.
Yeah, right. Nowadays, man, the price of college. It was funny. I was in the grocery store the other day, and I heard this kid talking about there was like 2 seniors. My son's he's going to be a junior next year, but there were like 2 seniors in there who obviously like this is their senior year coming up. And they were in the grocery store and they were talking about like, well, I think I'm going to go to Iowa, and I'm like, oh, I'm just kind of overhearing it, right? And it's like, okay, Iowa's a good college, and then they threw out a number and they're like, for out of state, it's like 49 though now. I'm like, 1,000.
Right? Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Like, it's a good school, man. But what does it cost to go to a big town then? Like,
I don't know.
Again, I'm not dogging Iowa, guys. It's a great place.
Right.
It's just, to me, it's just crazy. I don't know. These amounts are just like, I don't know. When I was at the age of college, that would have been all 4 years.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
And that wasn't that long ago. We're not talking like 100 years.
Right.
Like, this is in a very short span. Like, what it used to cost to go the whole 4 years of college is now 1 year.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
And then half the time they don't even use their degree anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
If they even get it.
Right. And aside from being like a lawyer or a doctor or something very specific, how do you even know that job or that career field is not going to be automated, switched over to gig economy, whatever it might be?
Well, what I told my daughter was, I said, hey, if you want to go to college, great. If you have a reason to go, don't go for the experience, right? Don't go to get away from me. And so what she did was she got a job after high school, and then she found out she loved that field, which was in the medical field. And then she got her boss through the work to pay for classes for her to go to, improve in her job.
Yeah.
And she essentially it's got a college degree without ever, having to pay for it. So, and she's in a field she already knows.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what needs to happen is people need to be able to, maybe that's the way for better accountability there too. Like, like when my son graduates, if whatever he wants to do, he has to go sell himself to a company.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. You sure? And somehow he's going to owe the company, which could give him a better interest rate. Because we all know that it's Gary Middleton and I were just talking about the other day, how it's like 60 days after you graduate before you got to start paying.
Yeah. Right.
It should be like 3 years. You need time to get your feet grounded,
you got to get the experience,
where you're going to live.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can't start charging people back on their $200,000 loans in 60 days after they finish college.
Right. Yeah.
They're not going to be able to do anything with that. So.
I guess they'll all have to do Instacart afterwards.
So I saw another thing, the DoorDash new features. Why on earth is DoorDash doing what is it, Yelp? Why are they having written reviews, item ratings, and more?
I don't know. I don't understand half the things that these guys do and like what their thing is. I know that Instacart also just added a bunch of stuff too, and I don't really understand it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. It really is.
I mean, but so like as a DoorDash customer, I'm not a driver. If I order DoorDash, I'm now they're gonna want me to write a review on the food?
Right. I guess the only thing that I could say is DoorDash is trying to now get into some other way of driving business to them. So if they are out there with a whole rating system for restaurants, right? Their name is attached to those ratings. Their name is constantly talked about, or whatever. And people that maybe weren't going to do reviews for sit down in that restaurant, maybe they'll go ahead and order it and feel comfortable behind the, their screen writing the review.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the thing to me though, I'm not even viewing it like that. I'm viewing it like, aren't you making more of an affiliation with yourself that they always are trying to separate? No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not employers. We're just this
Right.
guy. We're just this thing over here. Don't look over here.
Yeah.
And anytime you gotta do that, it's like, well, okay, now you're gonna pull in features that kind of show that you are more even tied to these businesses and stuff,
Yeah.
which you're not. But
right.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like
I don't know what
they keep pushing things in people's face. Like, we're not an employer, but look at this, look at this. They keep, I mean, I feel like they keep pushing this line at a time when really they should be holding the line.
Absolutely.
I agree. And hold the line. Don't fight it. Don't keep going. Well, we're going to keep doing this.
Right.
I think, everybody's getting a little fed up with that crap.
Yeah. I think they're just trying different things. Like, they're trying to beat the next, whatever the next guy with the next app is thinking. Lyft and Uber do that all the time. They try to one up the other one before they do something, and then, the other one's playing catch up if it works.
So, last week we talked a little bit about drones, and it looks, I'm going to say, look out. Is it Lockford, California, because you have been selected as the Amazon drone city.
Yeah.
Just you guys. However, you do have to opt into it. So I will urge every one of you not to opt into it, because with every order, you'll have to say, yes, I'm okay with a drone delivery. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Make it be, don't do it just because it'll be fun or you want to see it happen, like, because the part of the article too, or the articles I was reading, was that every one of them was calling them out as BS anyway, saying that they're a century late from their promises. Like 10 years ago, we got drones. We're going to be, nope.
Yep.
You guys are full of it. Now you got one city you're going to target. The FAA is very skeptical.
Yeah.
They're working with them, but they're very skeptical. They need to have every single thing they're going to be doing. And I just don't see how the FAA is going to be able. I mean, this is one city.
Yeah.
When you talk about the United States, like if it does work in this city, what you're going to go have it. You're going to go have these drones everywhere, and the FAA is going to be like, yeah, we don't have anything to do, so we'll handle all that for you.
Yeah. How's that going to all be tracked? And
FAA employees are stretched thin. How are they going to, who's going to handle these?
Yeah.
I mean, I was even reading that a lot of them aren't even going to be like, they're going to have like sub commands per 100. So like one person per 100. So there won't even be a person watching.
Sounds like an autonomous vehicle situation.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's
flying cars.
If you have the option to take a drone, don't take it, guys.
Yeah.
Just don't. It's, we don't need any of that. And then the same thing, this is pretty crazy too. We talked about Walmart a little bit earlier, and I think is it Plano, Texas, or Plano? Which one is it? Plano.
Yeah.
So Plano, Texas. There's a Dallas taco shop that's going to do, and I really, the Ghost Kitchen was supposed to be this great thing that was going to have top end food, great chefs. We're gonna, it's gonna really bring you the restaurant setting to your house with 5-star food and stuff. Okay, now this very famous taco shop in Dallas is now going to open up a Ghost Kitchen in Plano, Texas, in Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay, so my 4 or 5-star restaurants come from Walmart.
Right. Well,
I'm sorry, but that just doesn't make any sense.
Well, half the Walmarts, McDonald's or Burger King is in there, right? And I see a lot of them pulling out. So I guess they got to put in a different guy. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're a Ghost Kitchen, at least from what my take on Ghost Kitchens is they're 4 and 5-star restaurants. You have chefs, you have people who have put their careers into this.
Right.
And
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you think about it, if Burger King and McDonald's are pulling out for whatever reason, because I see a lot of them empty, right?
Yeah.
What makes you think this is going to work?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do that. You ever seen people at Walmart.com? Ain't going to go in there and eat that stuff.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. And in the pictures I was seeing too were showing like all this nice new stainless and stuff. And I'm like, what is this going to be, like an observed area too? Is this going to be like some clear walled thing that you can like watch
Right,
from Walmart? It's going to be
right.
like a zoo experiment or something. You can
Jeez.
walk up to it and just.
Mongolian barbecue or something like. It's ridiculous.
um, so, and before I forget, guys, it's June 13th. On June 15th is the very last day to file taxes without penalization, or without, is it major penalization or whatever.
Yeah,
I
the
mean, if you're
expense
already
savings.
late, you're already screwed anyway. But June
Right.
15th is a big date. You need to get that stuff in. And then, yeah, see, Cody's talking about the ghost kitchens being ran out of homes. I was reading in that in DC too was happening, that they
Mhm.
were busting down on either DoorDash or Grubhub. One of them was letting ghost kitchens operate out of people's houses.
Yeah,
Like they really, not let, but they didn't know any better. They were like, I don't know where it is. It's like, it's the same thing as like when you guys just add businesses to the menu that don't want to be on your damn platform.
oh yeah, people get irritated about that all the time.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you need to,
Mhm.
again, it's like how Uber operates. Well, let's put
Yeah,
you on it. Well, we don't want to be on it. Well, you're on it now. Like,
right.
I don't want to be on it.
Yeah, I dealt with one of them on an Uber Eats deal at a very nice restaurant in Florida last year. And I
Yeah.
walked in, I said, I need to do an Uber Eats order. And they're like, we don't do it. And I was like, okay, well, then I just need to place an order. We don't do Uber Eats. I said, I'm not here for Uber Eats. I just need to place an order. And she's like, what? Are you serious? I'm like, yeah. And then I just read off what I need to order from Uber Eats and I paid for it and stuff. But it was a pain for sure. But yeah, it's those restaurants do not like that at all.
Yeah. No, they don't. Um, so let's talk a little bit about what when I was sending some things over to you, you talked to me about like how people are going to need to learn, because you were bringing up something that I had on last week too about the, people were talking about summer slowdown.
Yeah,
And I don't always, yeah, summer slowdown happens, but it also summer makes and breaks some markets. Like they need
yeah,
summer.
yeah, for sure. Well, I think that different apps work differently for slowdowns and pickups. And really, I think my thought process is multi-apping and having different, don't just stick to one simple thing. I have a guy here in Phoenix, and he's like, I only do Instacart. I will not do anything else. And then he constantly complains to me about, it being slow or no work, or hey man, are you seeing orders? And I'm only at $30 for the day, and he's all upset. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this time right now is not good for Instacart. Like it just historically is bad. Wednesday afternoon, it's always bad, right? Um, and then so you really have to diversify yourself and do other things to be able to fill the voids. Same with time of year. The early spring, February timeframe is just slow for rideshare. It always has been, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no real rhyme or reason to it. It always is, and it's the same with different ones. And I think that it's important to understand that and learn from other people's mistakes, and add other things, or can have multiple different things you're work with. I mean, I do, I don't know, 8 or 9 um, different ones. So
Yeah. Um, so are you seeing the slowdown though? Are you, or are you seeing
it's
less? I mean, it's so hard to tell how much they're onboarding,
yeah,
but
yeah, absolutely.
but at the
It's
same time, people do recognize the gas prices aren't a joke right now. This isn't just what it
right.
was a few months back. Now it's a
Yeah,
problem.
it's crazy because I thought in my weird head that with the gas prices increasing, I would be super busy because nobody wanted to get groceries, or They didn't want to drive their car or whatever. And I found it actually slowing down quite a bit. And that surprised me, with especially with food delivery. Also, that there wasn't an increase in tips from customers. That surprised me as well. I thought for sure that people would be like, "Oh man, I'm so appreciative that this guy's out here paying those high gas. I'm going to pay extra for him."
Yeah.
And it's not. Yeah, so there's very few surge pricing right now on Lyft or Uber in the area. I'll look all the time, and it's just very, very little. Where normally, you go out on Friday night and you're pretty darn busy, and it's just I think people are just kind of hunkering down. The whole economy's crashing. Everything's, stock markets are tanking, gas prices, food is up. So everybody's just like, all right, we're just gonna, order a movie tonight and eat a sandwich.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I mean, that's kind of what it is, though. I mean, you can't. I don't know about you, man. I'm kind of in that same group you were just talking about.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not even if I come up with some extra money one week. Right now, I'm not in the mode to use that extra money to do anything for myself.
Absolutely. I'm the same way. I mean, my darn stock account, I've lost 20 some $1,000s in the last 6 months. It's
Right?
making me sick,
Yeah.
and gas, like we mentioned earlier, I got my motorhome I got to fill up. It used to cost $95 to fill up, and I was all upset about it, and now it's 250 to fill up, and
Right.
I'd only go like 300 miles. So it's pretty sickening for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just have to adapt to it. But like you, I'm just like pulling back. I'm not doing much.
Yeah.
I'm not going
No.
out to movies and doing all the fun things I normally would try to do on the weekends. I'm just hunkering down.
And it's not just you and me though. I see that everywhere looks dead. I mean,
Yeah,
just people aren't even people that are well off, better off, or whatever you might want to call it.
right.
Even they're not really out in force. Nobody's out in force.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I
Yeah,
mean, the only crowded place I go is the grocery store,
yeah.
and everybody's like holding their head just while the numbers are being tabulated.
It's seriously.
It's like, oh my god! Like I can be one back at the grocery store and watch somebody just staring at the screen.
Yeah,
Like now they're not. If somebody's
and
like, well, we don't have a bag, or you want to, because I am always bagging my own stuff, whatever. But like I watch other people who are like, no, I'm not gonna be bagging. I'm gonna be watching that screen.
yeah,
Like they're
and they're
like,
hold,
you're not getting me to do it right now.
and
You
they're
know?
holding on to the counter as they're doing it because they're going to faint in a minute. Yeah,
Yeah, and people say it's like 11, 8.5 or 11%. I've been saying this for a while. Like if I go spend like $100, I just make it easy because I have to spend more than this even before. But if I go spend $100 on my son and I for the week, just the two of us,
yeah,
that same groceries. First of all, if they have it,
yeah.
starting to run into they're out of a lot again.
There is a lot of that.
But if they have the same list of groceries that normally cost us $100, it's about 140 right now. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
So that
And
to
here's the
me is
thing too.
40%. It's not
Here's the thing
8.5.
too that I have noticed doing Instacart or even Shipped. You have to scan the barcode, right, to when you're getting an item. And I'll go grab a thing of cereal and I'll scan it and it won't work. I'm like, that's it. That's the right one. But it's a different barcode because the ounces inside are smaller now. And I actually took some videos of this. They had updated the box itself, but they hadn't updated the little tag. So it was 15 ounces and the box was 12. Now they've even gone down to 9 ounces in the same box. The price has stayed the same,
Yep.
but it's gone from 15 ounces to 12 and now 9 ounces. The box is the same size.
Yep.
It's just that little number has changed on the bottom. It's almost half of what was in there before.
I don't know how many products it's happening with, but actually that was brought to my attention either by something I saw on TV, even maybe it was something news, or else it was something in a paper. But then I actually noticed it in a store on one. I can't remember what it was. It was like one product, and
Yeah,
I noticed it, like you're saying, same size box, everything. But if you look close enough, it's not, because you could. I think it was cereal or something. I could put it up
yeah,
against the other cereals that size,
yeah.
and if it was
I'll
like
send you. I'll send
20.5
you a.
ounces,
I'll
it's
send
like
you if I
now
can find a picture.
17.
I'll send it to you. Yeah,
But I'm like,
I
how many
literally have them
companies are
next to each
doing
other.
this though?
Mhm.
Like we're talking
Yeah.
about one or two, but there might be tons. And I think it was no, you know what it was? It was yogurt. It was
Oh, that could be.
the Kobai or what is it?
Chobani or something.
The ones that have the either just the yogurt or the flip and fold ones.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're using smaller packaging or
Yeah,
less in the same packaging. That's the one it was.
yeah. I mean, this is this is this is what we're dealing with. It
Kobai.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chobani.
But yeah, so they're the ones like they basically that's the one I caught and noticed right away. Like
Yeah,
that one was like, damn, like it straight up says, I mean, it's not even trying to hide it. It's less. You can
yeah,
see less if like you hold it up to the light. You know, if you hold one up to the light, you can kind of see through the plastic.
right.
You
Yeah,
can see that the level's way down even.
yeah. Chips are
Like
the
where
same way. They add more air
yeah,
into them.
yeah.
Fall out.
Yeah, chips have always been a scam though
They
because
have
they
been.
they
It's
could they could
embarrassing.
just be a third full and
If
you'd be
that.
like
Yeah, it's crazy. But it's sickening. Like I'm so irritated by it, and I'm thinking maybe I'll have to move somewhere and just plant a big garden or something. I don't know, but you're right. It is so easy to go and uh, and buy
inflation.
buy $150 worth of groceries, and it's tough. It's tough.
And
It
it's
just doesn't
not
go
I
very
don't
far.
know where these people I mean, I know that somehow they use these numbers and I know there's people on the other side who are like those numbers aren't right. So I know it's not just a group of people who all think the same. We're like it's 8.5. But I
Right?
don't know where they live that it's 8.5 because my world is not 8.5 at all.
No, mine neither.
And it's not just the grocery store. I'm talking everything. And I'm even leaving gas out of it, which is the most ridiculous of all of it. Everything's up around 35, 40%. I don't know where 8% comes from.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I don't think that's true anywhere. And if anybody in the chat happens to know of a place where you think it's only 8.5, please let me know because I would love to do some research on that
For
and
sure.
find out why, because I don't know I don't know why they come up with these bunk numbers. It's not like it's not like that helps people feel better. Like I don't
No,
feel better if I see 8.5. Oh my gosh, it's only good thing. Like
right.
I know better. I'm like going, bull. It's 40%. This is not helping me for you to show me some number that's not real.
Well, it's scary though. Like if you say if you say so, gas is something you can physically see, right? There's all these little tricks for a lot of the other things. So if you actually tell them it's 30%, that's pretty scary. Even 10% scary. Um, in my opinion, what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up, probably right around election time. That's usually how they do this. But you're going to end up taking, and gas will be $7 a gallon, and they're going to scale it back to 5 just for you, because they're your new best friend with the government and everything. So they're going to really help you out and bring it down to 5, and then that's all they'll talk about. Same with inflation; they'll do the same thing.
Well, it's like this a lot of where did I just recently hear somebody was telling me like I was talking about um it was Ron Walter that told me that the 62.5 cent mileage deduction
Yeah, yeah.
goes into effect July 1st. I've been hearing a lot of people say it's in effect and I'm like, "Whoa, dude, it's not."
Well, I'm kind of curious about that. That's actually a good topic that you bring up because how does that work? Like, am I going to need? So is it into effect in July? So what happens pre-July? Is it still at 58 cents?
58.5.
So you got to keep track of that at the end of the year. You got, hey, I did 28,000 miles at 58 cents, and then I did
I would
18,000 miles
probably
at how,
even if you don't do
and
quarterly taxes or whatever, but you're a full-time gig worker like
mhm,
we are,
right,
I would probably do all of your mileage at end of June, end of this month. I would do it at 58.5 and
and
just
just
kind of close that portion off as okay.
well, and then is the because Uber and Lyft, they'll send you the mileage, right? Which isn't accurate, but they'll send you that. Are they gonna say, hey, they gonna break that up for you?
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. Bruce is saying that temporary fuel surcharge 55 cents for 1 mile ride and 55 cents for a 106-mile ride.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, here's my thing, shouldn't there be some adjustment? Of course there should, but you know what? There's not. I want to know who's taking them. Who's
I
taking this?
yeah, yeah, seriously.
You have to
To
be
be honest,
going to where that 106 miles is.
yeah, because then you're stuck there. You can't even get a ride back because you don't even live in that city anymore.
Right.
You can't do anything. Um, that should have never happened. That was a complete PR stunt.
Oh yeah.
It should have been, if they were really trying to help a driver, they're going to say, hey, we're adding 20 cents per mile or 50 cents per mile.
Right.
This whole per trip thing, because what happened is the people who don't know, they hear what they want to hear. Hey, you're getting an extra 50 cents a mile.
Yep.
No, we're not. We're getting 50 cents for that 106 mile. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the fact that, it's, I mean, like John's saying here, it's a slap in the face. You know what I mean? It
Yep.
is, because it was a PR stunt. And to be honest, I, I've kind of mentioned this before too, that, it's same kind of thing we were talking about, Uber being in bed with Maricopa County.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
kind of the same thing. Like, well, okay, well, Uber's in bed with these newspapers, and yes, the newspapers, many of them will write a real article on Uber. The
Right.
Miami Herald, the Chicago Tribune, New York Times, Boston, like Boston Globe, all of these will write a real article on Uber, bad or good. However,
Right.
these kind of articles, it's like they get their way with it.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
That's
make
right.
us look good in this.
Yep.
And
That's
they,
right.
for some reason, at the same time, all the newspapers drop all the same articles saying, look how good they're being to their drivers. And
Right.
it's like, come on, man, this isn't, you reported last week or 2 days ago how bad this company is. Now you're like saying, this is like them cashing in a chip with one of these companies. Like, hey, you remember, we finance a lot of your stuff.
Right.
It's, I guess what I'm saying is people need to stop being in bed with these companies.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Especially news outlets. News outlets need to be very careful with these gig companies, because I'm not somebody who runs around saying fake news, fake news, fake news, because I think that
Right.
you can dig through the news and find the reality in it.
Yes.
If anything, it's bad reporting. There's a lot of bad reporters out there who
Definitely.
just don't really dig deep enough to get
Yep.
stuff. But the information's out there. So it's, I mean, if they really wanted to, they know. I mean, I just don't get why one paper isn't like, PR stunt. That's all BS. These drivers are not being paid crap.
Right.
One
Well,
big paper to write that article would stand out.
it's interesting. I have a lot of people contact me wanting to interview me and things. And I had a I don't remember which paper it was. It was a fairly large paper. They said they were doing a story on unethical something or other with these companies, and they saw a tweet that I had put out about I think it was Instacart, and she wanted to interview me, and she had it all set up, and then like out of the blue, a day before or 2 days before, she's like, "Oh, we're killing the story. We're not doing it." And
Yeah.
I was just curious, did they have a whole pile of people lined up to interview, and then the company came in and said, "Hey, we don't want you doing this story," or how did that work? Because all of a sudden, like, she was all excited, she had it all set up, had all the times and sent me all the information, and then bam, nope, we're not doing it.
Maybe she interviewed some of the bots instead.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Hey, we got told by Instacart we're not supposed to do that story because they have some bots out there.
Right.
Oh, they have them. Okay, yeah, we know
Yeah.
they have them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was saying how, like, you can't even type in the word Instacart on any social media. You probably know this, without 10 people getting on there and going, my friend on Instagram can, and it's like, I didn't even talk about being deactivated or not liking it. I just put the word Instacart in there.
Yeah, I have a YouTube video that I did about, I don't know, 2 years ago, and every day I go in, and it was on bots and signal boosters, and the whole thing was, does your screen look like this? And I had a picture of the different screens where it had no batches, or a batch would just flash, and then I had a solution for this, and this is what my YouTube video is about. And every day I go in and delete these bots that come on and say, "Hey, my friend, on Instagram," or they have the little arrows pointing up to the the name, you know. I make $2,000 a day thanks to my friend, you know, pointing
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Every day
Yeah.
I delete them. And every day I put in hide this user from the channel. It's always some seductive looking girl or some good looking guy, you know, is all posed perfectly in the little picture. Drives me crazy. I literally, this is like a routine for me. Every day I go in on this video and I delete them every day.
I mean, I could honestly go to Twitter, and you and I are both on Twitter. A lot of people that we talk to aren't, but we're both on Twitter. So I could go to Twitter when we're done with this and just put Instacart as a tweet, just that, no hashtag, nothing.
Yep.
And I will have people saying that I can save your account.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
didn't say anything about it. I just said Instacart. That's all I
Right.
said.
Yep.
Just said Instacart.
Yep. They'll DM you. They'll
Yep.
have this big plan. Send us $300. We'll make it happen for you.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's
It is. It's
so
not.
so while we're wrapping it up here, I guess, like what are you going to find? What are you trying to make? What is your primary app right now? What is the one that you're having most success with? Because I know you're multi-apping, you're running everything. You're
I have
hustling,
kind of a routine. So I have now entered into doing Turo, and so I have cars on Turo, and I'm kind of doing multiple things. So I may go deliver a car on Turo, and then based on where that delivery is, I may be turning on my Uber app. Maybe it's near the airport, or I'm near a Costco around 10 o'clock, and I'll turn on my Instacart. I'll see if I can get some shipped promos in the area. If it's noon or 6, 5 to 7 o'clock, I'll turn on DoorDash. Maybe I'll both run at the same time.
Yeah.
But I would say I don't really have a primary one. I tend to try to hit the big drop at Costco on Instacart, right? Get a $60, $70 order in the morning. If I do, that puts me right about noon. So I might flip on DoorDash or Uber Eats. So yeah,
have you not tried Corner Shop yet?
I've not tried Corner Shop.
I only asked because I know it's John Dash was saying that it's big down there.
Yeah.
Like he was saying he's doing really well with Corner Shop.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised you're not trying it yet.
Well, I got too much going on. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
You should see. I'm also okay. So I'm also into Airbnb, right? So I have 2 different Airbnb houses here in Phoenix that I'm converting from a house to an Airbnb house. Okay. And I'm kind of doing it for some other people who have contacted me. And if you've never done a bunch of landscaping in 115 to 120 degrees, you are missing out. It's pretty intense. So
I spent about 8 months in Tucson, and some of those 8 months were a full summer. Yeah. I literally was like, I might as well just go sleep out on the street. I didn't even want to be in the house. The house was hotter than outside.
It's brutal. It is brutal. And
oh my God, dude.
So what I'm doing is I'm trying to do this work at night. I was just out here the other night. I'm building this rock wall and putting in some fake grass and some stuff. And I'm not kidding you. I was out there at 10 o'clock at night, and it was still over 100 degrees. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? What is going on? So I've got about another month, and then I'm done with all of them, and I'll be moving on down the road. But
yeah, it's about to get real bad there.
It is. I mean, it's
that time of year you do not want to be in Arizona.
It was 115 here yesterday, and it's tough, and it drives me crazy with these delivery people because I'll send you a screenshot of a couple of them that just bothers me like you wouldn't believe. Somebody puts on $1 tip, right? And they've ordered 24 cases of water to an apartment number. And you'll know this if you do deliveries, apartment number 3015, right? You know what that means. So 24 cases of water, $1 tip. Anyway, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, man. I don't know. These people, I get that they need the service. I get they want to use it, but they also, I hope that at least most of them feel bad at least. I know not all people are that way. I spent enough time in the bar industry that people know to tip.
I used to think people would feel bad. I don't think that anymore. I don't think they feel bad. I think they're like, hey, I got some poor soul who's doing a delivery here and better them than me. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know
Well,
what?
I mean,
Karma did them, I think.
yeah, I mean, it kind of has moved to a do for yourself world. I mean, I've always said that, I catch a lot of flack for this. I've always said, I don't want to even say most anymore, but many people are crap.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
the bottom. It's true, man. It's just truth. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A
You're
lot of
right.
people are just crap, man. They really, it's above and beyond not caring about you or me. Like they're just
Yeah.
crap. They don't even recognize. It's not
Junk.
even on their
They're,
radar.
they're
It's
just
like,
junk.
oh,
It
crap,
is
man.
terrible. It is
Yeah.
bad. But you know what? Here's the thing. In any business you're in, you got to take the good with the bad, right? Because, we rarely talk about the person who orders 5 items and takes you 10 minutes and they give you a $50 tip, right? So
Sure.
sometimes you're going to get the good and sometimes you're going to get the bad. And
Yeah.
I try to remember that in the middle of the bad. So
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah. Marissa wants me to give the percentage, but she knows me too well that I used to call it 90. I used to say
Yeah.
90% of the population is bad people.
I
But
think
I,
I think it's
I'm trying
changing
to, I'm
though.
trying to
I think
become
it's moving because I think that as this younger generation is entitled, serve me kids are
yeah.
coming up, they're now becoming adults and they're like, wait a second, the real world doesn't serve me. Well, I'm going to make an app serve me then, and I don't want to work for my work, my money, and I don't want to carry 24 cases of water up 3 flights of stairs. So I'm going to pay some guy to do it. And, oh, I'm paying him $6 on Instacart. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
pretty good. it's it's terrible.
I can't believe he's going to do it for that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. It's more like I gotta imagine it's more like a dare. Nobody's gonna bring 24 cases of water to the third floor
Yeah.
for $1 tip.
Well,
Or
hey, you know what?
somebody's putting in 10 and they're like, dude, make it $1. See if somebody actually takes it.
So I actually screenshotted a bunch of this just the other day. I actually beat Instacart at their own game with this one, and I'm not going to tell you how I did it, but I ended up making an extra $50 without ever doing that delivery. So um, yeah, it's you got sometimes you got to think outside the box, beat
Yeah.
them at their own game for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'll tell you how I did it later.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. And everybody has to do that though. Yeah. I mean, it's not like something sneaky that he's trying to keep from everybody. It's just like you gotta
No,
if you think outside the box, there's something you could always, I don't know. I try and get through my days without having to do any of that. But if I need to, I know I've got the brain power to like take on you know, the help desk of whatever. So, looks like Jason froze on me. Oh no. Well, luckily we were at the end, but I don't want him frozen. Oh, okay, guys. Well, um, we were at the end because we run an hour for the podcast. So, oh, he's back.
there
Nice.
we go. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, he froze. But
Yeah.
this is an hour podcast, so I do keep it to that. What's up, Thomas? What's up, Rideshare Lisa? What's up, John McCallion? I saw came in. Yeah, what's up, everybody? So, yeah, make sure to check out Jason's channel if you haven't already. I mean, Jason's been around for a while. He's had a channel up for a while, so there's a lot of good content on there. But his link is in the show notes. Uh, and make sure that tomorrow night you tune in too, because once a month. So uh, these co-guest podcasts are great. I'm loving these. But once a month, I'm going to have Lou and Mary from the Long Island Dash Experience. The second Tuesday of every month, they're going to just co-host a live with me, and that happens to be tomorrow. Then it won't be again until second Tuesday of July. So don't let it throw you off. There's another live. That's just our now monthly live. So there's going to be another live tomorrow night with those guys. We have a lot of fun with them. So, and then next week, I know my co-host is John. It's John McCallion is going to be in here, and co-hosting with me. And this week on the round table, we got Faith Dasher Pass, or as Mr. Flex likes to call her, accept or decline. So that's going to be fun. But Jason, anything else that you got going on that you want to plug, or?
No, not really. I'm just living the dream or surviving the nightmare.
Right.
One of the two. But
I've seen that you're doing this this fun thing a couple times though.
I am, yeah. I'm
Is that a
actually
regular thing now?
Yeah, I'm doing a live tomorrow on Turo actually.
Okay.
And it's kind of interesting. That group is it's a good group of guys, and it's an interesting concept. They're doing a lot. It's a baby app, you know.
Right.
But it's definitely something I'm intrigued about and working with them, and it's pretty good. I try to do about once a week live on there.
So how do people find that, or what do they have to do, or what?
You can just go to just search FUD in FUD in either Play Store or on Apple, and just download it. I also have the links on my Instagram and you know, different things, but yeah, and then you can just search. You can just type in anything. Type in, you know, Instacart or DoorDash or Uber or anything, and it'll have a lot of videos. They have a lot of videos from TikTok on there. They're gaining a lot of content creators, and it's actually kind of interesting because as a content creator, it enables me to be able to have a live with an AMA, and people get their questions answered, and you can actually reward your creator with these coins in there or something, and it's, you know, it goes to my creator account, I guess. It's not really why I'm doing it, but it's pretty good. You know, it's got some bugs they're working out, but overall it's pretty good. But I'll be on there live tomorrow.
Do you know the live time?
It's 4 p.m. Pacific is when I'll be on it.
So 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. I'll try and find it and put the link directly in the show notes so you guys don't have to look for it. I know that you guys don't like hunting for things,
right.
So I'll make it easy for you. I'll find it. I'll put it in there.
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be about Turo, and then I try to do it once a week on a different topic, primarily you know, with a different platform each week. But yeah, tomorrow's gonna be about Turo.
Right on. Well, Jason, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for making this more fun too for me. I really am digging these co-host things. I don't think I will go back, man. I'm gonna have to.
Heck yeah, man! Just keep it going.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
I got to get in on. I got to get in on one of those round tables with you too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've been on them before, but we'll have to make that happen.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Arturo? We're just shutting it down, but thank you for joining us. All right, everybody. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow night for the Lou and Mary thing. So that's always fun. And thank you, Jason, again for being on. And have a good night, everybody. Go put some good out into this messed up, crazy world.
That's right.
See you later, guys. Peace.